We've been waiting 178 days for this. Baseball is back in Pittsburgh. And from PNC Park, today the Pirates on opening day will host the St. Louis Cardinals. And hi, and welcome to the booth. Joe Block along with Bob Walk. It is a great pleasure to be here in Pittsburgh. My first opening day here. I think you've had a few of these already.
A few of these, but I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to this one. You know, this team has played so well over the last 3 years. I can't wait to get these games going that count, and really a lot of buzz around the ballpark. Even though it's a little bit of a cool day, fans are really excited.
And the players are excited too. And Robbie catches up with Andrew McCutchen. Robbie.
Well, we have the 2013 MVP and face of the Pirates franchise, Andrew McCutchen. Andrew, the talk all of spring training was getting off to a faster start in the month of April. How was the work you put in February and March that you and your teammates have done to put you in a better position to accomplish that?
Well, we definitely worked hard. That's what we did. You know, we know our Aprils aren't as good as we want them to be, but, you know, it's not always about how you start. It's how you finish. That's how we won 98 games last year, but I'm sure if we can have a better April than we have in the past, it can propel us to have an even better season.
Andrew, 2016, a new year and a new team with brand new faces. Why is this team better equipped to go deeper in April than deeper in October than it has the last 3 playoff runs?
We're a team, and that's what it's all about. A team can be talent when talent isn't a team. That's what we live by, and we're gonna be beside each other all year, having each other's back. That's what makes us the Pirates.
Why is it special? Why is opening day special every single year?
Only happens once, and that's what it's all about. Only happens once a year. It's nothing like it. Regardless, you cannot duplicate this day. So you just have to just let it all soak in and just cherish it.
Best wishes, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's Andrew McCutchen.
Thank you, Robbie, and thank you, Andrew. And today, you know, it's just so fun to be part of this atmosphere here today, as well as the first pitch of the baseball season begins right here in Pittsburgh.
It certainly is a lot of fun. I think this is as close to a postseason atmosphere as you get all season long. That opening day when the guys get out there along the baselines, hear their name, it's just the enthusiasm will be going sky high all afternoon.
And it'll be a big crowd here in Pittsburgh as the Cardinals are in town. And on a day where the game is often a footnote, it couldn't be farther from the case here today. Pirates and Cardinals opening day coming up right after this here on Root Sports. Here at PNC Park this afternoon, opening day, the Pirates and the Cardinals here. I can't think of a better atmosphere for baseball than this one this afternoon.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic out there right now. And yeah, for a few days we've been kind of wondering about the weather, and really it's not that bad out there. A little chilly, but the wind's not doing much, and the sun is nice and bright. They were able to chip the ice off the field earlier this morning. It really I think it's going to be kind of a non-issue. A little on the chilly side, but for the players out there running around, they'll be just fine.
We've been waiting almost 6 months for this. And folks, with the the gates opening at 11 a.m. this morning. The place was half full, and then as soon as people could file in, everyone's been waiting for this opportunity to see baseball again, and not only just to see the Pirates back in action, but a chance to win the division this year, maybe even go farther than that. And of course, who stood in the way last year? Then the Cardinals. They're the opponent today.
They're always the ones standing in the way, it seems like. But we've talked about this a couple of times now over the last 2 seasons about the importance of getting off to a good start in the month of April, and especially against the teams that you're in competition with to win this thing. You see what the numbers are over the years with the Cardinals. Actually, we've played them fairly tough, but still, it's you don't want to have to play catch up all year, and that's what happened last year. The Cardinals got out in front and just took off and ran with it, and you know, going into about halfway through May, Pirates already had a little mountain to climb. And this year, you'd like to maybe reverse that. You get the first 3 games with these guys in your own ballpark. You know, hopefully, you know, I don't want to look ahead too far past this afternoon, but you would love to start the season, you know, put down a little early down payment, maybe a deposit by taking 2 out of 3 here.
And that's what everyone's talking about already. It's not just baseball is back, but the first pitch of the baseball season. All eyes are on Pittsburgh today, and you have a chance to beat these Cardinals and try to get up a leg up on the rest of the Central Division before anyone else gets a chance to play.
Absolutely. This is kind of something that I used to, as a kid, I'd watch the Cincinnati Reds all the time. You know, they would always be playing that opener, and it's something baseball did a few years ago. They went away from tradition and have passed it around, and I really like it, able to give some other teams you know, the stage at the beginning of the season. And the Pirates, certainly the way they have played over the last few years, they deserve a shot at this and being able to throw the very first pitch of the baseball season.
And that man, Francisco Liriano, will do that. And today, with Pittsburgh being the host of the first pitch, kind of funny because we think it's the first time that that's happened in Pittsburgh. In fact, they were the last team to play baseball on Sundays at home. It was a long time ago, 1934, but now the irony is years later, of course, this is where the baseball season begins here in Pittsburgh today, and an opportunity for these guys who just broke camp yesterday. There was a game in Indianapolis yesterday for the Pirates, and the Cardinals, they are already here. They were working out yesterday.
Well, normally you have that day off, but you know, just didn't work out this year with the game in Indianapolis, so they you know, they flew in yesterday with the kind of late afternoon, and you go get them. It's really no different than what you do all year long. So it's not that big a deal to the players. They're used to this, getting off an airplane, going home, and coming back and playing the next day.
Francisco Liriano getting the nod for the opener, and this is an opportunity for him too, because Garrett Cole was maybe thought of as going to be the starter in the opener, but talking with him this morning, he said his outing yesterday down at Pirate City was great. He's with the team here today, as is Juan Nicasio. Everybody is set to go. The roster is set as well, as we found out today that Cole Figueroa will be on his first opening day today, as is Kyle Lobstein. We knew that he was going to be likely part of the roster, but those two are the final 2 men on the 25-man roster today, and Francisco Liriano will get this thing started. Everybody almost already here if you are not in your seat yet.
3 straight openers for Francisco. He's very much used to this.
And it's Sunday, so the kids take the field. And how about that, to be able to be on the field for opening day?
Opening day. A very special feeling for these kids. Looking up into these stands with all the people. I mean, what's that? What does that feel like you know, if you're 8 years old?
One of the greatest memories you'll ever have, I'm sure. Jordy Mercer is ready. The kids back to their seats. And we'll take a look at our Honda lineup. And for the St. Louis Cardinals, Matt Carpenter, the leadoff hitter, still in that role. 28 home runs last year. And Matt Holliday now in at first base. First time he's ever played anywhere but left field in the big leagues. Randall Grichuk, a rookie a year ago. Now their cleanup man. A lot of young players in this lineup. Jed Jerko, the West Virginia product, is the shortstop after a couple of injuries this year to the Cardinals shortstops. And for the Cardinals, facing the left-hander Francisco Liriano.
Take a look at Frankie's numbers, brought to you by Hyundai. And last year, just a fantastic season. One of the big things that he was able to do last year that made him so effective. Well, he's been effective now for quite some time in that Pirate uniform, but he was able to cut down the walks a little bit, throw a lot more strikes, and that really, I think, paid off for him. It got guys chasing those breaking balls, chasing that changeup down out of the strike zone, which is always a major weapon for Francisco.
And the defense behind Liriano, brought to you by Honda. There's David Freese, the longtime former Cardinal. He'll be at third base. And the stat of Jung Ho Gong, and then John Jaso now over at first base. Also learning a new position. Got all the spring training to work out the kinks over there at first. And a nice ceremony before the game. Starling Marte. You can see the shimmery golden patch on his glove. He's a Gold Glover forevermore, receiving his award today.
Probably won't be his first.
Here comes the first pitch of the baseball season.
Meant to say his last.
Yes. I'll agree with you on that.
They throw that ball out of play.
First pitch of the 2016 championship season thrown in Pittsburgh.
I noticed they threw his first warm-up pitch out also. It's interesting.
On the ground to first. There's Jaso, tested right away, and one out.
Well, got that out of the way, huh? That wasn't a little gimme waist high 2-hopper. That ball was tagged. Nice quick move, backhand play. Frankie was there for him.
It looked better and better as the spring went on.
First game, there was a little, little work needed to be done. We saw that right away, but.
Tommy Pham with a dribbler. Now Freese getting the action in. 2 gone.
Wow, couple of nice defensive plays.
Well, the new guys getting their action in early. And on a cold day, that's not easy.
Jason, a little stretch out towards second base to make that play.
Good to get the jitters out right away. Now the first baseman, Matt Holliday.
Liriano really going after the strike zone and aggressive early in this one. Like that.
Can go for a quick inning here. You know, one of the things he had talked about is, hey, I want to throw 200 innings this year. That's one way to do it. Get the ball put in play. 1-1.
One of the problems that Francisco has always had a little bit is throwing too many pitches. It cuts his innings down, and our casino, Rivers Casino, tips to win today. The first one, Frankie being efficient, that's what we're talking about. And I'm really interested to see Kutch in that 2 spot. With Jaso hitting in front of him, he's got somebody now that's going to be getting on base, you know, 1 out of every 3 times at least. And it's going to be, I think, a little tougher for guys to pitch around him if there's always somebody at first base. We'll see how that works out starting today. But Francisco, back to your point about throwing a lot of strikes to get to 200 innings, you know, that's the key for him. Can he throw 100 pitches in 7 innings instead of 6 innings or 5 innings? If he can do that, if he can get the outs in a more efficient way, then he'll have his 200 innings at the end of the year. Oh yeah, right to knees.
A 9-pitch inning for Liriano. Sends him down in order. And here come the Pirates. Honda are here. Everybody's here. It's opening day. John Jaso going to lead things off for the Buccos. And our RAV4 lineup today. Jaso so good as a leadoff hitter in his career, and Andrew McCutchen, of course, now moving up to the 2 spot. David Freese, the 3rd hitter. Starling Marte will clean up. Cervelli gets on base too. He's the 5th hitter. Polanco, Harrison, Mercer, and then Liriano for the Buccos on opening day.
I'll take a look at Wainwright's numbers. Hurt most of the season last year. They lost him very early. In fact, it was his first. When was his first start of the year last year?
It was in April in Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee, yeah. And really a blow to for them to lose their ace like that. But then they still won over 100 games. Just an amazing effort that the Cardinals had last year.
John Jaso taking a strike.
Wainwright is really an amazing pitcher. His quality stuff and his command of what he throws. He's got the good fastball. He's got an excellent cutter.
And Jaso, the first out.
Curveball. He can give you different looks. He changes his windup around. He'll pitch from the third base side of the rubber. Sometimes he'll move to the first base.
Here comes Andrew McCutchen. And for those of you that don't like to wait, well, you get to see him a little sooner at the beginning of a ball game.
Now the whole key is to see him with somebody on base. That's what I'd really like to see a lot of this year.
That was part of the thought process to get him in that spot so that he doesn't bat with 2 men on and nobody out, and that happened a good bit last year. Clint Hurdle trying to also get him up maybe at the end of ball games too.
I think the on-base percentage of the guys hitting in front of him last year combined was, I think, 2nd worst in the league, and that's not a good thing to have in front of your best hitter.
Oh, the analytics folks have decided that there's different spots in the order that are more valuable than others, and the number 2 spot is where they say that you should put your best hitter if he's a guy that can draw a walk, get on base.
The Reds
can do that.
I've tried this a lot over the last couple of years with Joey Votto. He's spent a lot of time in that number 2 spot in their lineup for that same reason. He's definitely a guy that can take some pitches and get on base.
say they hit him. Jerry Lane says McCutchen clipped with the pitch.
That just grazed the back of the hand. You can't really see that. I think Jerry Lane was probably going on what he heard with his ears. He heard two different sounds. And one of them, obviously, the ball hitting the glove, and he saw something else that made him think that he got hit.
And there's Jerry Lane, and the crew chief today, and Mike Matheny has come out. And I think this is going to be a crew chief review here. I don't think he's going to use his challenge in the first inning. And like you said, Bob, it's hard to see. It was probably better to hear it, so I don't know if this is going to confirm anything.
And it's kind of 2 outs, nobody on base. I mean, even if you win this one, what are you really gaining a whole lot of? So I'm with you.
You get to face McCutchen again.
Yeah.
Might have got him in the knuckles on a cold day. Yeah, I mean, if it's overturned, then he has to bat again, and sometimes it might be better to just put McCutchen on at first base.
Yeah, with 2 outs and nobody else on, it really is not a big issue. They're doing a good job of kind of freezing their starting pitcher, Wainwright. He's standing out there in this cold breeze while all this is going on.
Okay, nothing to overturn it, and that's a challenge by Mike Matheny. So in the first inning, he's used his challenge.
Yeah, really an odd spot to use your challenge.
Wow.
I mean, maybe it hit him, maybe it didn't hit him, but how are you going to be able to tell unless it was just an obvious clean miss?
That's I could see him maybe trying to get the umpires to look at it on their own, but well, now they're out. And here's David Freese wearing a number 23.
Well, that hopefully will be a
see if that
break
matters
in this game. Yeah,
we'll see if that matters later on. There's a strike. That's down low. 2 balls and a strike. So the Cardinals without a challenge the rest of the game, but because they still will have an opportunity to ask for a crew chief review later in the game, but that doesn't mean that they can grant it. So we'll see. It may not matter. It may. Mike Matheny electing to use it early.
I'm still with you. I don't understand
Usually more conservative.
What the importance was of challenging that call.
Freese fouls it back.
You know what? I've been thinking that he's hitting third.
Oh, you're saying?
I keep saying there's 2 outs. There's only 1 out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so used to him hitting third all this time. See, that's why I'm saying it was so questionable to me to challenge it, because I'm thinking there's 2 outs, nobody on. There's only, that's right, he's hitting second now. There's only 1 out, so that makes a difference.
Change the complexity of the inning a little bit.
Well, yeah, now you know I could see it.
But still, if you win it, well, then you got to still face McCutchen again. Now full.
Well, Wainwright really having a little bit of a tough time with the curveball. Looks like the little cutter or slider, whatever you want to call it, He's been able to put that where he wants to, but the hooks he has thrown, he's at least looking for a check swing, something like that, some kind of a little bit of movement, but because he's bouncing that ball so far in front of the plate, he's not getting it from freeze.
With one out, we'll see if McCutchen's running. He is. Up the middle and through, a base hit. McCutchen into third, and the Bucks with runners at the corners and one out. Take that, former club, right?
It was odd when I saw that ball hit. I was thinking that's going to be tough luck because they're going to have somebody covering the bag because Kutch was running.
And remember, too, the Cardinals are on their third string shortstop in Jed Jerko.
Well, it looked like it was Wong was the guy that was covering, but he really waited a long time before he broke, so he couldn't quite get to where the ball was. A lot of times you hit that ground ball up the middle and the runner's going, you're doing them a favor.
Bucks on the pond for Starling Marte. And did so well as the cleanup hitter last year when he was in that role. Already a fine year last year.
It's so different the way the lineup is now with Marte hitting in the cleanup spot.
Chance to break through in the first inning. They'll only get the one out. Everyone back on the liner to Jerko.
Yeah, good job, everybody staying put.
Cervelli.
Now 2-out chance for Cervelli. And in part where he is in the lineup because of his on-base potential. Cutchin 90 feet away. Cutter that Wainwright throws, that's a toughie.
Yeah, it really is. Got very good command of it because it's such a short pitch. It's kind of like a traditional slider, more than a cutter like what Melanson throws. But pitchers call it whatever they want to call them. But you can see that little break to it. That was the slider of, say, 25 years ago. Now Melanson, he throws that true cutter. His fastball velocity and his cutter velocity are almost identical. It's really a true cut fastball.
Two-strike pitch.
There's that curveball. Not locating all that well, although in that scenario there he was kind of wasting it, using it as a waste pitch, way ahead in the count.
How about with a runner at third? Molina so sure-handed back there, can throw that in the dirt. Chance to put the Pirates on top in the first inning. Jerko, and the Pirates threaten but don't score. We're through one on opening day. 0-0.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, Health for All. By Bordas & Bordas, official legal partners of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Visit bordaslaw.com. And by Day Automotive, we're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Second inning, opening day here at PNC Park. No score. And a better day than we thought weather-wise. This has been pretty cool. Cold front that has come through here, but sunshine, that makes it feel better. Baseball makes it feel better.
Yeah, I think another thing that makes it feel better is that the wind, even though it's a pretty good breeze, it's not like I thought it was going to be a couple of days ago. You can see those flags out there now just to the left of center field. They're blowing, but they're not starched out, which makes a big difference when the temperatures where it is today. It is blowing out a little bit too. It should help anything hit the right center.
City, state, and country. Randall Grichuk's the new cleanup man for the Cardinals. Really nice year last year when he was healthy. Now this is not your father's Cardinals a little bit. They've got some young guys in there.
They have a little youth movement going on. Grichuk obviously a big part of that, and the guy on deck, Piscotty, also.
Now, these are some guys that Grichuk was on the opening day roster. There's Piscotty, who was not last year.
So many injuries last year. It really is amazing that they were able to win over 100 games the way they endured almost everybody getting hurt at some point. We talked about earlier, Wainwright missing almost the entire season. Great. You have to tip your hat to the Cardinals.
Great pitching last year. I think helped withstand that. Mike Matheny has done well on his 5th year. And Grichuk down on strikes. Second K for Liriano.
Got that slider down and in, got a little bit of a chase. One of the specialties of Liriano. Gets a lot of his strikes on swings that aren't in the zone. Guys just can't lay off that slider and the changeup. They'll chase both of them.
Piscotty almost hit his boss. Line drive going back into the Cardinals dugout. Hello. .305 last year. Let's take a look at our Barrel League leaders. And from Barrel Automotive, the teams with the most wins the last 3 seasons in baseball, you guessed it. Playing right here today. Clint Hurdle has guided this group to the postseason each of the last 3 seasons. And Mike Matheny has done so in all of his years, his 4 years.
It's become quite a little battle between these two clubs.
And you know what's fun about it? It's kind of a different characterization this year, because everyone's talking about the Cubs, who made a big splash in the offseason. Hey, and both of these two teams are saying, well, hey, we both finished ahead of the Cubs last year.
Well, that's the kind of the thing that I think you use to drive yourself forward a little bit.
And another strikeout, a third of the day for Liriano.
You feel like you've done something, and that's what both these organizations have done over the last 3 years. Chase on a changeup up and away.
That's something we don't normally see from the Cardinals. A little chasing here.
See, I agree with you. Both these clubs probably are saying, hey, the guys in the blue hats really, they did a good job last year. They especially ended strong. But we've been there now for 3 straight years, so the Cubs should have a little something to prove.
All the best teams of baseball, best 3 in the division last year. Molina down 2 strikes.
A lot of baseball people over the winter, they talking about the Cubs like they're a juggernaut.
We'll see. I mean, hey, on paper they are impressive. You have to give them that. But hey,
we'll see.
It's day 1. Let's
remember what everyone was talking last year about this time about the Nationals. They were giving the National League pennant to them.
No doubt.
And they ended up not even making the playoffs.
To right and foul. Molina recovering from injury last year, a thumb bothering him, and he has been a little bit better in spring training in terms of being able to drive the ball. That power really not the same last year. Another 0-2. And Liriano strikes out the side. 4 Ks for Liriano. Pirates coming to bat. No score. And this year's Pirates home run 5K and 10K presented by Allegheny Health Network in Highmark, set for Saturday, April 16th. Participants receive a Tech t-shirt and ticket voucher good for a Pirates game, and families can join in the fun with the Chick-fil-A 1 Mile Family Fun Run. Register today at pirates.com/home run. And Matt Adams is now in the ball game, playing over at first base, and Matt Holliday has gone from first out into left field. As the Cardinals, who were beleaguered with injury, there's Holliday back to his normal left. Cardinals really beaten up in spring training, and Tommy Pham has left the game. This one ripped to right. And Polanco leads off the second with a double.
That's something we really kind of hope to see, I think, this year's. Little, I mean, this was now the ballpark, but it was still hit very hard, kind of driven in a powerful way. And the Pirates are going to be looking to pick up some of the home runs that they lost when Pedro Alvarez moved on. And Polanco, definitely a big, strong man, and possibly he'll pick up a number of those.
What a great way to start the inning. Chance to strike first.
What an incredible outfield that this could turn out to be, not only defensively, but offensively with these 3 guys. They're able to stay healthy, play together all year, with the corner guys, improving every year with their bats. Could be an amazing, and just an amazing thing for everyone around baseball to be talking about. That outfield in Pittsburgh.
Josh Harrison trying to drive home Polanco to get this one started on the right note. Hey, if you're going to have a party, and look, opening day is a party. Let's have some fun today.
Oh yeah, let's put up a bunch of numbers up there, and I think there's a few people that are a little worried about this offense because of the home runs that are gone. We put up a bunch of numbers. We have a nice party. All that talk about the offense will slowly start to go away. I'd like to see that. This inning kind of reminds me of the of last year, the top of the order. Polanco leading off most of the time. Jay Hay hit a lot in the number 2 spot.
True.
Well, Polanco's led off here with a double.
Well, now you have a couple of innings where you have it, it's set up.
Yep. Definitely the lineup is so different, just the way it feels this year.
Polanco's going to get to third
with 1 out,
and then a productive out for Josh Harrison. But yeah, the lineup is a cycle. It's not just, this guy bats here because that's his role. No. It's a cycle. It's how guys work after and before the other hitters.
Oh, but believe me, that's how the pitcher looks at it.
Yeah.
He's always, there's things that you're concerned with, where the runners are, what's the score, what inning is it, all these kind of things. But you definitely know who's on deck and all of that sort of thing. And that's how you decide, can I afford to be very careful with this guy, or do I go after this guy? Who do you pitch around? Who do you pitch to?
Cardinals have the infield in. Jordy Mercer takes ball 1. Pirates with a chance in the first inning. Runners at the corners with 1 out. And now Mercer, who had a nice spring. Chance to ring in the new year. Oh. Mercer, in the spring had some nice at bats, and he may even factor in as a leadoff hitter when the Pirates face a left-handed pitcher.
Well, he's always had good on-base percentage numbers against lefties, so there's been talk that might come into play. Right now, he needs to just kind of shorten up that swing and get something put in play. Got the infield in, and that just 1 out. Polanco down at third.
And in that 8th spot, we keep talking about lineup construction. That's an important spot to be in because the pitcher's on deck.
It's amazing how this all this happens because you don't play with a DH. That affects the entire way that the game is played, the strategy of the game, how you construct your lineup.
2-1 away again. See if Wainwright decides to challenge Mercer. And he wants Liriano.
Well, this could really backfire on him. And I agree with you right there. Early in the ball game, I'm not sure you want to be pitching around a number 8 guy to get the pitcher up there, because look what might happen here. And I don't know how exactly, but let's say Liriano sacrificed. Now he's got a situation up there where he's got a left-hand hitter in Jaso with 2 guys in scoring position, where a single, now he's going to fall behind 2-0 instead of taking his shot with Mercer and maybe only getting 1 run in.
Now this is less probable. Liriano hit a home run he's not going to swing away, but he hit a home run in spring training. So hit one against
Oh, he's swinging away. How about that?
Base hit for Liriano. Polanco is in, and the Pirates lead it 1-0.
Well, that was the other scenario, but I wasn't even going to mention it because I didn't think he'd be swinging away. That you'd, bunt two guys in the scoring position for the top of the lineup. But Clint sometimes will go a little against the grain, and here he lets Liriano swing and picks up his first hit and his first RBI.
I saw a couple of good at-bats from him in spring training. I didn't think that was coming, but I said,
well,
maybe.
The big difference in Liriano was last year was night and day from what he had been throughout his career as a hitter. In spring training last year, he really took it upon himself to work very hard on his hitting, and it really paid off. Last season, I mean, he was actually dangerous up there with a bat. Had a home run last year, and right away they gave him let him swing down. That's a little bit of a dangerous play, because what if he hits that ground ball right at the second baseman? If that happens, the inning is over.
And this is a crew chief review. And Liriano driving in the first run of the year for the Pirates. Now, if you had that in your office pool.
Well, what were they reviewing there?
I don't know, Bob. I was trying to think the same thing myself.
Oh, they thought maybe that ball hit Mercer.
I wonder if he did any high jump. And Jaso with a base hit. Here comes Mercer, and the Pirates are up 2-0.
To go back to the double that Polanco hit, and you got Jay hitting behind him, moving him to third base. Hey, pretty good pitch, really sawed him off. But that sets up this entire inning. Jay able to move the runner, and now you have Wainwright having to make some decisions, and the decision that he made to pitch around Mercer has turned out to be the wrong one, obviously.
And that's a great point. Harrison with that productive out, and now 2 on for McCutchen and 2 across already.
Well, Wainwright, worried about giving up 1 run, has now opened up a can of worms and has given up 2 to this point.
Grichuk gets the second out. And a great start for the Pirates. And Wainwright, who had not allowed a run in his last couple of opening day nods, one of the toughest customers you'll find, and the Pirates trying to break through with the lineup. We've been talking about it today, on and on. Avoid outs, get on base, move runners over, base running, take the extra base. We're seeing that. Strike to freeze, base hit back in the first.
Well, if he gets a base hit here, I hope it's a double so that Francisco can just kind of slowly walk home. I don't want him to do any sprinting on this cool afternoon.
39 at game time, which is still better than we probably thought it was going to be. Nice and sunny, and not all that breezy, and it's opening day. Who cares? 1-1. That might be the first time he's gotten that curveball called a strike today.
Yeah, I think he might have got a break on that one too. That was
a break on a curveball.
It's off, yeah, off the plate a little bit.
You're a mid-season for it, Bob.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2.
got a break, but he didn't.
So Liriano able to swing away. First pitch driving in a run. Jaso on the first pitch driving in one. And Wainwright down a pair. Facing his good friend Freeze. Carpenter able to throw him out, and Francisco Liriano driving in the first run of the 2016 championship season.
Opening day, I'm Robbie Smikowski, pleased to be joined by University of Pittsburgh running back James Conner, who threw out the first pitch today. Now, James, you're undergoing cancer treatments. When you look at the support that the city, the University of Pittsburgh, your coach Pat Narduzzi, and everyone has shown, what has all this meant to you?
It just means so much to me. You know, the city of Pittsburgh is like my second home, and you know, just the amount of love and support that they showed me. Won't want to be playing for anybody else with the Panthers. You know, the Pirates and Steelers, their fan base is so great. Such an honor to be here. I just love Pittsburgh.
James, we've seen videos of you working out the day after you received chemotherapy treatments. Given your platform as a prominent athlete in this city, how much do you hope to use your situation to inspire others who may be going through the same thing?
I want to use it all the way. You know, this one thing I love is just having an influence on people. And, you know, I just want to have everybody who's going through cancer treatments to know that, you know, that you can get through it, and it always could be worse. And, you know, like you said, with the working out and stuff, I just got to get physically ready. You know, I got a game September 3rd coming up, so we got a whole season ahead, and I owe it to my teammates and the whole city just to be game ready come September 3rd. So I just got to just love being a motivator.
Now, James, we love having you here, and you inspired all of us, but we got to ask you, you bounced the first pitch. Now, hey, it's easier said than done to throw. What was that experience like being on the mound?
Huge experience. You know, a great honor for them to have me here. I was practicing my pitches, you know, throughout the week before I got here, but when you're on the mound, man, it looked a lot further than what I expected. But, you know, like this, you know, great honor, and just, you know, just can't thank the Pirates organization enough.
James, on behalf of all of us, Root Sports and the Pirates, we wish you nothing but the best and hope to see you on the field.
So much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Joe, James Conner.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we hope that he will be back when he's ready. Great player and a great representative for our state, in fact. Erie native. This is Colton Wong, bottom third of the order, because Liriano has retired the first 6.
What's nice too is he's got 3 strikeouts, and he's only thrown 24 pitches. 4 strikeouts, 3 in the 1 inning. I mean, that's a lot of times when you see Francisco get the K's, it's also costing him innings pitched because he throws a ton of pitches to get those strikeouts.
And try and what do you do? Is it nibbling?
Well,
what is it? Or setting up?
With some pitchers, it definitely is nibbling when that happens. But with Francisco, it's just his style of pitching. It's what makes him who he is getting those strikeouts. And if he's firing the ball right down the middle, he's not striking people out. I mean, the main thing is for him to get outs. And if he throws 100 pitches in 6 innings and he's got to come out of the ball game, so be it, because you know they're going to be 6 real good innings.
Another 2-2. And he's got another.
Wow.
5 strikeouts in a row for Liriano.
He's really done a good job a couple of different times now with the fastball to the third base side of the plate. Being able just to paint and hit that corner.
Now Jed Jerko, the Mountaineer. And our Allegheny Health Network injury update. We have the Cardinals with 2 shortstops already on the DL. Johnny Peralta tearing a ligament in his left thumb early in spring training. He's going to be out for a few months. And the Cardinals go out and get Ruben Tejada from the Mets after he was released. Strains his quad. And they don't think he's going to be out all that long. But Jerko, who had never played shortstop as a pro until last year, is the opening day shortstop for the Cardinals. Former Padre.
I think that shortstop position is like kind of like a catcher. They're tough to find. There's not quality guys aren't growing on trees out there. It's a tough position to fill. Was it that many years ago that the Pirates got a little taste of that with that catcher's position? Keep getting people hurt, and they're just not that many of them out there to go get.
Jerko with the Padres last year, 16 home runs. He hopes that he can hit enough for the position and just do what he can defensively. And that's the first Cardinal base runner. And it's a chilly day, but only if you want it to be. And look at PNC Park in all of its glory. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, covering the bases with tires for superior performance all season long. Goodyear, more driven.
Is it warmer up there because you're closer to the sun?
I don't know if that's the case.
I thought Icarus proved that it was.
You're going to have to get the book out on that one. I don't know. Icarus. 3rd inning on opening day. All right. So Wainwright going to try to move over Jerko, and
more traditional way to do things. Try to bunt with your pitcher.
A little element of surprise. And
sometimes you do take that risk. If that that pitcher hits a ground ball to somebody, the inning could be over when you let him swing.
Surely.
Francisco able to find the hole and knock in a run. Isn't this how Wainwright got hurt last year?
He was at Miller Park and blew out his Achilles in the batter's box.
I think he laid down a bunt and started to run.
Just as simple as that.
Yeah, just there was nothing special about it. I remember watching the highlight of it. He just started to kind of
took one step,
jog toward first base, and somehow blow it out.
They're going to try for the lead runner. Oh, it's into center. And that'll allow Jerko to get to 3rd. So now both pitchers reach in kind of an unorthodox fashion.
Yeah. Cervelli got to the ball in plenty of time. It was not a very good bunt. It was left right there in the dirt, but the throw just really sailed on him.
So sacrifice fielder's choice, E2. Now the Cardinals with a chance. 1st and 3rd with 1 out for Matt Carpenter. Carpenter started the ball game, started the season, in fact, with the ball ripped to Jaso. They are loaded up.
In big crowds, there's always a packed rotunda. Interesting place to watch the game from up there.
A lot of freedom.
Nice job by Cervelli on that ball. Got a fastball in the dirt outside. You can't get down and block it as it's getting on top of you. It's a fastball, so you got to just try and be like a first baseman and pick it out of the dirt. That's not really all that easy with that catcher's glove to try and pick a ball out of the dirt.
2-0 to Carpenter.
A little two-seam action on that fastball. A little sink down in the hand. Watch this ball dip down, get underneath the bat.
Liriano has struck out 5 today. In 2D and 3D. And he's behind 3-1. He's got the lefty Carpenter and the lefty Adams on deck because of Tommy Pham leaving the game because of left oblique tightness.
The numbers there, hitting the runners in scoring position. Lifetime 325.
You get 1, 2, double play. Liriano gets out of it. He's rolling through 3. He has struck out 5 Cardinals this afternoon. And the Pirates on top on opening day.
Cold it is, there's always some crazies without a shirt on, you know what? Knew there would be some here.
Let's look at some of our Point Park tweets for today. Don't have tickets to the game, but they got everything ready at home. And Jeffrey says he's got a fever. He doesn't need more cowbell. He needs more Pirates. And Melissa, not bothered at all by the chilly weather. Of course not.
Practice for Bucktober. I like it.
That's right. We're going to be doing the same thing. We've been waiting.
It'll be warmer than this.
Well, yeah.
October.
39 today. Yeah, just wear the cap and wear your jacket. Put a towel on. Liriano's been great. Cardinals hitless through 3. Pirates touching Wainwright for a pair in the second.
Well, very seldom do you get to the postseason without really a strong 1-2 punch in that starting rotation. The Pirates definitely are okay in that department for sure. Cole and Lariano.
Garrett Cole will start sometime this opening week. They have not determined when in that Reds series, but talked with him this morning. He's fine. He had a nice outing.
He just got a late start in spring training. That is all. He was kind of behind everybody.
Marte lines out to Grichuk to start the third. But he'll be in there, and so tomorrow, or I shouldn't say tomorrow. I'm already into that mode here. It's Tuesday.
It's all right. I'm having a heck of a time with Kutch hitting second.
Well, the Pirates will go with John Neese in the second game, Juan Nicasio in the third game, and then Jeff Locke will be in the rotation.
About the spring training that Nicasio had.
Well, it's about as good as you could ever get. And that's not just to say about the numbers, which were, I mean, he didn't give up a run, and he struck out 24, I think, in 15 innings, 15 scoreless innings. But the stuff that he had and the location that he had makes you think that that would translate for the regular season.
Yes, you would think that, but you always have to remember it's March.
Makes you think.
And you never know. It's like what we're seeing today with Lariano. And Francisco in spring training.
4 2/3.
He never could finish 5 innings without throwing 100 pitches. And now today, what did you say? He has 40 pitches through 3. So it's like totally different.
Liriano getting some ground balls today too. The Cardinals have not hit the ball in the air yet.
That was a big one that he got there at the end of the inning. Get that double play. Keep the birds off the board.
And Cervelli will get aboard with the walk. And here's a great deal for you. You can check out the new Pirates Spring Pass for the low price of $99. You get ticket access to all the home games in April and May. Pick the games you want, and the tickets are delivered directly to you on the MLB.com ballpark app. Visit pirates.com/springpass for more details. And if you want to come on out and see the Pirates in early season action, that's the way to do it. Polanco started that second inning with a leadoff double. Pirates up 2-0. Carpenter playing in at third. The lefty batter up.
Playing pretty much straight away out in the outfield, and a little bit the pole on the ground. Pretty traditional layout. Nothing high tech about that defensive alignment.
Now we're so used to all the shifts today in baseball. Might we see a return to, the ebbs and flows of the game, a kind of a traditional defensive alignment?
I think only if the hitters start taking advantage of the shifts. That's the only way you're going to force teams out of them. It would be the hitters. If they're going to continue to pull the ball on the ground, then why would you ever leave your shift?
1-2 now to Polanco.
There's a chase on a curveball. Haven't been too many of those from Wainwright so far in this game. Got one there. This ball he was able to bounce behind home plate instead of out toward the front. See, that one was right in front of the glove. That's where you want that hook to bounce in the dirt, where you get a check swing or an actual swing and miss. Not too many guys. Maybe you get a pitcher to swing at one that bounces way out in front.
1-2. In the air to right. And Piscotty grabs the second out. Adam Wainwright at 48 pitches here in the third inning. That's not a high number, but it's looking like more like a 6-inning afternoon for him.
They've made him work a little bit. be interesting if Wainwright sees Polanco again, especially if there's runners on base. The battle between his curveball and will Polanco try and make an adjustment and lay off that pitch. Definitely got him to chase it, 2 of them in a row. The last one, little weak pop up on a broken bat. Wainwright, I'm sure now thinks he's got something figured out about Polanco. And Polanco, on the other hand, sitting down thinking, I got to lay off that pitch. So who's going to make that adjustment?
We'll see if it gets that far. Thinking that they will see each other again. Cervelli aboard at first. Harrison with a bounce out his first time, and the phrase productive out makes sense for that event.
Oh, absolutely. You got a lead-off double. You want to get that guy to third base. Now the defense has to decide, or opposing manager has to decide, does he want to bring the infield in or not? The pitcher has to make some decisions about how he's going to pitch with the infield in.
And it ended up setting up an inning where the Pirates scored twice. Run scoring singles by Lariano and Jaso in the second. All part of that lineup cycle, right? Your pitcher tries to hit a run, setting it up for your leadoff hitter to do the same. 1-2. And Wainwright with his first strikeout today. Pirates up 2-0 on opening day.
Time for the Toyota RAV 4th inning. The all-wheel drive RAV hybrid has performance that will make you rethink hybrid. Let's go Bucks!
4th inning on opening day, and the Pirates are up 2-0. It is cool here today, to say the least. 39 at game time, but sunny skies, and so far smiles in that Pirate dugout. I don't think there's a more beautiful setting in baseball.
That's pretty amazing that what the Pirates organization has in the city of Pittsburgh has done here. It's absolutely a destination spot for baseball fans all over the country to come and see a ball game.
And what guys have done, like Francisco Lariano, you don't just come for a ball game, you come to see some victories too.
Yeah, I mean that's been part of it. It's always been a pretty ballpark, but now it's a beautiful ballpark with a winning team. And that has made a difference.
And a chance to be the first club with a win. This is the show. First and only game right now in baseball. Matt Adams batting. He did not start this game. Tommy Pham left with left oblique tightness. So Adams, a Slippery Rock attendee, a native of central Pennsylvania. Usually doesn't start against the lefty. And so go figure, you know, the Cardinals go and they're going to put Matt Holliday in against left-handers. First game over at first base in his big league career in the last 2 innings.
That's why baseball has got to be the most unpredictable sport there is from game to game. You just, there's no telling what is going to end up happening. And there's another strikeout. What, just 3 pitches.
Liriano's got a half dozen strikeouts.
He really can work over a left-handed hitter. You see the check swing, bat comes through out in front of home plate.
He's got 3 looking and 3 swinging now. Now the new left fielder in Holliday. Strange to see Holliday last year not have the same power, but he just wasn't right. And that's the first Cardinals hit coming in the 4th inning. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD, over 400 supported devices. And you can include a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV. Find out more. There's our Bucko friend.
He's seeing that uniform.
Sunday home games. Pass Mercer for a base hit. Randall Grichuk aboard.
That was hit pretty hard. I think that was would have been a double play ball if Mercer could have came up with it.
Just a little too hard hit. You know, they talk about Randall Grichuk and all these newfangled terms and stuff. Exit velocity, meaning how hard does that guy hit the ball? Randall Grichuk's among the best in baseball at that. So even when he hits a ground ball, it's hit hard. Scotty.
Yeah, the old term was this guy really hits the ball hard.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to interpret so we could all understand. Exit velocity is the phrase that they like to use. But yeah, no, he hits the ball very hard. And so maybe if he wasn't as strong of a hitter, maybe Mercer has that extra half second to get there.
Exit velocity should be how fast a pitcher jogs off the field after he's taken out of the game.
How was your exit velocity when that happened?
It was always slow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You never want to run off the field. But I have seen some guys do it.
1-1. And foul. And Piscotty came up midway through the year last year. And is going to be a big part of their order. I mean, he's already the #5 hitter and out of Stanford. 64th big league game.
Really kind of leaning on Ian Grichuk.
There's another one. Hunter Wendelstedt rings up Piscotty. And Liriano's got 7 strikeouts here in the 4th. He might need some more of those.
And that looked like the changeup downstairs.
Now Yadier Molina, also a strikeout victor. And there aren't too many that are going unscathed now in this Cardinal lineup. Mariano is yet to allow a ball in the air. Couple of base hits in the inning. The strikeouts and some bounce outs.
Well, now he's got a guy that's jumped ahead of him, 2-0 in Molina. And he's missed by quite a bit with these first two pitches. It'd be interesting to see how big of a piece of the strike zone he tries to take, and didn't.
The first time he's fallen behind hitters, but this is the first time he's fallen behind 3-0 on a hitter. Molina draws a 4-pitch walk, loading the bases for Colton Wong.
Well, once he got to 2-0, he went with a couple of two-seam fastballs, just trying to throw them for strikes on the outside half. But he had a lot of movement on both of them, and both pitchers just ran down and away. And of course, the hitter is always going to be a little patient when he's ahead in the count like that. Molina in the driver's seat takes the base on balls, and now a single could possibly tie the ball game.
5 straight wide ones from Liriano. Grichuk is the man at second. Not really a lot of speed on the bases all around for the Cardinals. Big rip and a miss.
This ball here almost acts like a cutter.
Matt Holliday at third, Grichuk at second, Yadier Molina at first. Now ahead of Wong.
You gotta think he would take a shot at putting him away with that excellent slider of his. Now that he's out ahead 1-2.
Couldn't get him to chase.
No, I think that was it too. He was able to hold up with the swing. Getting down on both knees with the breaking pitch, smothering the ball.
Bases loaded, 2-2. He struck him out.
Got him with the slider, came back with it again.
Liriano with 8 strikeouts, stranding the bases loaded. And the Pirates remain up 2-0. strikes out Colton Wong to strand the bases loaded.
Really a huge at bat, and the big thing here was he was able to get out in front 1 and 2, which now puts him in the driver's seat, and he can go to work on him out of the strike zone and try to get some kind of a chase on an off-speed pitch and have the ball not be put in play with the bases loaded in the inning with a strikeout. And that's exactly what he did. Went downstairs below the knees. Think that was a slider, not positive, but it looked like it. And that's what he got the swing and miss on.
Liriano with 8 strikeouts through 4 innings. Pirates look to add to their lead with Jordy Mercer. Mercer walked and scored the second of the 2 runs that scored in the second. And the slugger Liriano lurking on deck. That'll be a trivia question we'll remember. Who drove in the first run of the 2016 baseball season? That guy.
Leads the league in strikeouts.
That too.
He may tomorrow still lead the league in strikeouts.
8 already. Wong is right. And Liriano, who what an interesting situation for him to swing the bat in.
Yeah, it looked like a sacrifice situation, but they let him go ahead and swing. Got a ball that was up and in, kind of tomahawked it right in that hole. Knocked in a run.
Yeah, the first pitch, and then Jaso followed on the next one. Pirates had a couple of runs on 2 pitches from Wainwright.
Liriano taking all the way there, just kind of backing away from that first pitch.
He hit a home run in spring training.
Tough to hit that change up when you're stepping toward first.
And he'll look at 3. So a couple of strikeouts for Adam Wainwright. And it's a Bucks and Pucks day here on Root Sports. As soon as we wrap up opening day here at PNC Park, we'll take you out to Consol Energy Center for the Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. It all starts at 4:30 with Penn's pregame, presented by Heritage Valley Health System. First one is high ball 1 to John Jaso. Jaso drove in that second run. And a snow better day to have the Pirates back in Pittsburgh.
Yep, all. A lot of everything. A lot of stuff was white this morning, everywhere.
North Hills, what'd you get?
There was everything.
I got enough to cover the grass.
Yeah, it was an inch, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's all gone now.
Just enough to say hello baseball season, right? Yeah, I got up before dawn. There's snow on the ground. I said, I can't wait for baseball. Jaso down on strikes. And the Pirates retired in order for the first time today. Trash City coming to Stage AE on April the 29th. And the Pirates here with the lead 2-0. Takes one step at a time to win a division, and step one is this afternoon against these Cardinals. And Jed Jerko, Morgantown product, will start things for St. Louis. There's your first fly ball of the day. Now the fly balls today a little bit easier to handle than they were yesterday in Indianapolis. The Pirates playing an exhibition against the Reds there yesterday. Winds were steadily at 30 miles an hour and gusting to 50 during the game.
That was kind of what I was a little concerned about here this afternoon. We're looking at the advanced weather predictions a few days ago. The winds were going to be very strong. Thank goodness that didn't happen.
Wainwright down 2 strikes. Yeah, we got a little bit of that in the evening here. Credit to the pilots for getting us up and down yesterday just fine. And that's number 9 for Liriano. And just a reminder, you can enjoy a cold one and look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Get underneath that blanket. Why not?
That bat by Wainwright kind of made me smile a little bit. Wainwright made Liriano look kind of silly in his at bat, throwing him that changeup. And I knew that at some point Liriano was going to give him a little taste of his own medicine, and that's what he did for that strike 3 pitch. There's always a little game within the game between the 2 pitchers when they're hitting up there, as long as there's nobody on base.
So there's, what is it? It's kind of like, hey, neither of us really want to be up here.
Well, no, not really.
No, it's the other way around.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
it's saying, hey, I'm going to get a hit off you, and then I'm going to have a little bragging.
Right.
Oh, I see.
And then if he makes you look silly, well, then you're going to want to return that favor when he comes up. That's
now, was there a guy that you got, you know, that,
well, I think
he got you?
That was like kind of all the time with
Okay.
whoever you. Eventually, you would face somebody that, as you said, didn't want to be up there. But that really didn't happen very often. Most guys, it's more of a competitive situation. At least that's the way it used to be. And you wanted to go after that guy and strike him out. At least I did, because that's the only strikeouts I got every night was the pitcher. So it was important to me.
Kind of a wink.
No, that's
And,
true.
Yeah. Just missed. There's the radio side today.
Well, Steve would get a lot of strikeouts. Where's Brownie's tie?
He was on the field already today.
He's got the casual look going
everything.
here.
Yeah. Number 10's going to have to wait.
Man, why did he not get that one?
Three-two. Missed in. Third walk for Liriano. And from the lens of a fan, opening day. Those should be rose colored. 98 wins a year ago. Had a chance with a 2-0 lead here today. Get off on the right foot. And Adams struck out back in the 4th.
See that shift on the infield, playing the other way in the outfield. And another thing that we're going to be noticing through the year is the depth that the Pirate outfielders are playing this season. Last year they played very deep. They tried to keep everything in front of them. This year they have moved in. And in this case, I think it really stands out. If you see where Kutch is, you got a big power hitter at the plate, and Kutch he's in tight.
What's the advantage for that?
Well, he's taking away all the little dunk hits that you would give up in front. And last year the Pirates through some analytical work figured that they'd be better off playing the outfield in a little bit.
Adams retired. And we'll send it to the bottom of the 5th with the Pirates leading 2-0. The Pirates lead it 2-0.
Well, they're not sausages. They still put on a nice race.
I'm just glad there's some sort of race.
A little different for you, huh?
Yes. Here's our day automotive this day in Pirates history. Back in 2003, the Pirates beating the Reds 7-5, completing that 3-game sweep against the Reds in that season opening series. And Reggie Sanders with 4 hits, a couple of home runs, drove in 5.
Pirates got off to a great start that year, but then it kind of dissipated fairly quickly. But boy, they really looked like they were going to be a powerhouse with that offense they had.
3-0 start was the best in 10 years at that time.
I think Reggie Sanders ended up hitting over 30 home runs that season.
There's one way to find out.
No, you don't have to look.
Yeah, I'm going to cheat. Andrew
I
McCutchen.
always forget about the internet.
You're the only one. McCutchen clipped with a pitch back in the 1st inning. The Cardinals used their challenge, although the teams are going to be able to still ask for a replay. It's some nice artwork. That was probably done with the internet.
They get those at the sign store.
Oh, okay. Here's the pitch. Let's see, Reggie Sanders, 31 home runs in 03. Your memory is is always correct.
How many did you get?
31.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, Matt Stairs was on that team too. That's right. He had 20 that year. And McCutchen sends this one to left. But Holiday there to retire.
That Lofton playing center field. Not enough pitching that season.
Need a balance of both, and the Pirates hope that this year they have it. You know, the Cardinals talking about all the history that they've had with their good pitching. They had it last year as well. It's going to be an interesting division this year with all the different changes that have been made. You look at some things remain the same. But
it is so much more fun now in the last 3 or 4 years going into the season and really not just thinking and hoping, but knowing that you're going to be part of a pennant race, that you're going to be there, and you're going to be playing all kinds of meaningful ball games.
Not a lot of red anywhere but on the field today. That guy wore a lot of red for a number of years. Grew up in St. Louis, played for his hometown club.
Really, I think it'll be a great addition.
Jung Ho Gung expected back late to mid-April. David Freese will be playing a lot. He's got another base hit. David Freese is 2 for 3 today. Every Friday is a free shirt Friday when the Bucks are in town, and you can be one of the first 20,000 fans through the gate. You'll receive a free Pirates t-shirt, and you can check out this year's t-shirt designs and cast your vote for the 1971 inspired September 2nd design at pirates.com/free shirt Friday. Starling Marte's hit the ball hard twice. Hitless to show for it. Marte thought that one was a bit high.
Didn't like the call. It's all right. Got 2 left.
Carpenter.
Here.
Adams. I think it against. Pirates get a hit. And we're through 5 with the Pirates still on top 2-0.
On Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. Check out the Barrel Hot List at barrel.com. Now the only way to buy a car. Let's go Bucks!
What a beautiful day. It's chilly, don't get me wrong, but it is a beautiful day for baseball. And opening day here at PNC Park. Look at this. We've been waiting 178 days. That little one may have been waiting her whole life. Just to have baseball back in Pittsburgh, and the baseball season begins here today. The Pirates and Cardinals, and whoever wins gets to brag about first place, at least to start the year.
Leading all of baseball in wins.
That's
whoever
right.
Wins this one.
Great fan support here, and it's continuing.
Can't win them all unless you win number one.
That's right. Make that a t-shirt. Of course, it probably wouldn't sell after today.
I think it is a t-shirt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think I've seen that somewhere.
Matt Holliday with a base hit his last time.
I think that was an old Gene Garber saying.
The old Braves pitcher?
Yeah, opening day he'd be walking around the clubhouse barking those out. Can't win them all if we don't win today. I think that was the year we started the season with 13 wins. 13-0.
Oh, yeah, well, 82, right? Was that 82?
Yeah, 82.
Gene Garber had that twisting delivery. Now 3-1 on Holliday. Liriano has struck out 9. He's walked 3. Cardinals have the leadoff man on for the first time today. Take a look at some of our Point Park Instagrams and the tweets from today. This is a happy place. With the family out here at PNC today. Everyone's bundled up and having a good time on opening day. Always glad to see all of your tweets and Instagrams. You can always tweet the booth. Hashtag Bucks Booth. I'm looking at it. I read it. I may not respond to it. No, I'm just kidding. I always read them. So, you know, if I need to straighten my tie or something, you know, let me know.
There's so many of them, you can't read them all, can you?
No, I can't.
They're all over
There's
the
no
place.
chance. Well, this is other stuff too. Try to glance at it sometimes. Randall Grichuk 1 for 2 today. And the only guys who have not struck out, Carpenter, Jerko, and then Tommy Pham, who left the game with left oblique tightness after 1 at bat.
Pitch number 80 coming up for Francisco.
And a chance. He's gotten a double play ball today. Maybe, you know, get another ground ball or something. He might be able to get into the 7th. And the way that he's pitching, you want him to go as long as he can today. He's not.
Phone ring.
Well, I was going to say, prior to that, there hadn't been any need.
A lot of times you see that catcher go out in those situations in an obvious, you know, a little bit of a stall. What you don't see is in the bull or in the dugout as a pitching coach is walking, or sometimes the manager is going for the telephone.
That one nips the edge. Liriano worked into the 7th about half the time last year. Two one. There's a strike. Grichuk with a ton of power. Not a household name, but a guy that you don't want to make a mistake to.
Francisco's control just not quite as sharp here in the last couple innings as it was at first couple of the game.
Almost as many balls as strikes today. Strike 3 call. That's number 10 for Liriano.
He went with a off-speed pitch on 3-2, and it just moves enough back toward the strike zone to catch the inside corner.
That's about as good as it gets. And Liriano tying his own record that he's tied for the most strikeouts for a Pirates pitcher on opening day.
I believe that was the changeup that he threw on 3-2. And his changeups, I think he's fooled me a couple times with it today, because it really does have a little cut action where it's moving either away from the left-hand hitter or kind of toward the Pirate dugout.
Got to peel those K's off. Start with number 11. See if he can set the record and keep the Cardinals at bay. He shut them out into the 6th inning. Two second inning runs for the Pirates. Now 3-0 to Piscotty. That's how you know he's already fanned 10.
Now you have to really do math.
3-0. And he's walked his 5th.
It's easy just to count the Ks. Now you got to add.
Well, that's pretty incredible. You know, the pitch count's starting to get up there, but he's walked 5 and struck out 10 today, yet still room to go if Clint Earl wants him to.
He doesn't have the same command that he had. I mean, you can see a definite difference in the way he is able to hit his spots. These last 2 innings, you can see that control is starting to deteriorate. And that's why I think you see the ball strike ratio is starting to even out.
Oh, the visit to the mound has to be done before that hits 0. Jerry Lane is going to meet the contingent at home plate, or I should say on the mound, and try to get Ray Searage off there. He wasn't done yet, but once it says 0, he's got to be done, and he's got to start walking back. New rules instituted this year in baseball. 30 seconds. Catchers can visit as often or as long as they want. And that between innings clock that you won't really notice, but it does help keep the game going a little bit crisper. And you know, baseball last year knocked off a little bit more than 6 minutes per game off the time of game, trying to add to that this year. Molina with a base hit to left. Holiday does not run well and will be held at third. Now the base is full of Cardinals for Colton Wong.
Wong was up earlier in the game with the bases loaded and struck out.
Yeah, Holiday with those quad concerns last year and his age, he didn't even go in that back hard. He knew he was going to stop there. Wong hit 200 last year with the bases loaded. Striking out to end the 4th inning in this same situation, or with 2 outs, I should say, only 1 out here. Broke his bat. Harrison. He dropped it.
Infield fly.
And that's going to be an out. Tried to exchange it very quickly.
Or did they call infield fly, or they
yes,
call
they did.
Yeah,
I saw Hunter Wendelstedt go up, but late. He did it very late.
And just clanked that one.
Hunter Wendelstedt signaled it right at the last moment there. I was looking for the same thing. I was waiting to see the call there.
Anything that can be handled routinely by an infielder, or you can have an infield fly by that many. An outfielder can also be involved in that.
We saw that in the postseason.
But you can't force those guys to run in that scenario.
Otherwise, you just drop the ball. It's an easy double play.
Yep.
So now to Jed Jerko with 2 outs. Liriano has walked 5, including 2 in this inning, but he has struck out 10. It's Wong to pop out. He needs another out here to keep the lead and keep the shutout. Ball 2. Nowhere to put Jed Jerko. Archimedes Caminero getting up.
Moss on deck.
Here's the 2-0. Chop to third. David Freese gets the out, and Liriano gets out of it. Pirates coming to bat on the 6th, still up 2-0.
Park, Yadier Molina is making his 12th consecutive open day start for the Cardinals today. That is tied for the major's longest active streak at one position with David Wright, the Mets' third baseman. Now, he doesn't have to look very far to find the last person besides him to start for the Cardinals. It was his manager, Mike Matheny, back in 2004. Now, Molina actually now is has the third longest streak at the catcher's position in Major League history. Bill Dickey, the New York Yankees, has that record at 15, and today he broke a 4-way tie along with Jim Hegan, Jorge Posada, and Ivan Pudge Rodriguez to make his way in. So some pretty impressive longevity, Joe and Bob, at a very tough position to make that many consecutive opening day starts.
He is an institution. Toasted ravioli, Ted Drews, and Yadier Molina behind the plate.
It really is a difficult thing to stay healthy like that as a catcher.
He's working his way up that list. Games caught. He's going to be in that 1,500 game mark pretty soon, and that would put him in the top 30 of all time.
A lot of times too, if a catcher is a plus offensive player, as they get older, like Molina, they'll find another position for him. They maybe move him over to first base a little bit. You'll see guys move to the outfield. So the fact that he's been able to stay behind the plate
and play so often, you know, that's this is a big reason why they went out and got Brian Pena, who is an accomplished backup catcher and certainly can start if needed. But Pena succumbs to injury yesterday and is going to miss first couple of weeks at least because of slipping on a wet step in the dugout. So it's up to Molina to continue even at age 33. Doesn't sound that old, but for a catcher, those knees age a little differently.
Absolutely. That's why you see those guys kind of move to other positions if they're, like I say, a plus on offense.
Wainwright behind 3-1 on Cervelli, who's already walked today. A couple of free passes issued from Wainwright.
We've seen that in San Francisco. Buster Posey starting to play more and more over at first base.
Yeah, that's been a trend, but as valuable as he is behind the plate, still keeps winning Gold Gloves every year. Hard to move him out from back there. Hit well to left center. Holiday still back on this one, and it'll deflect away from him. Cervelli off to the races, digging in for 3, and he's got a leadoff triple.
Hit it to the deep part of the ballpark into that 410 notch. And that little bit of a breeze is not much, but what there is blowing out towards center field, and Holiday just could not catch up to this one at all. He is not he's not a Gold Glover out there. We'll just say that.
And he didn't even start the game and left. It's the speedy Tommy Pham who's normally out there, but leaving the game with injury. So Cervelli with 5 3-baggers last year. Great way to start it off for the Bucks here in the 6th. Now Polanco, infield in for St. Louis.
There's that third-time matchup. Which curveball on him, and it wasn't a good one. Polanco, that second time up, he kind of got himself out on hooks, chasing him downstairs.
1-0. Molina always ready to throw over to any base. Polanco doubled back in the second, and Cervelli's at third with nobody out. 1-1. Got to stay on your toes with Molina.
Yep. Well, that second strike was a curveball again. Downstairs, and Polanco couldn't square it up.
The pitch. High. 2-2.
And Molina that time he put down one for a fastball, and then you saw another little sign that he kind of just motioned with his hands, you know, let it fly. Give me something high up here. I think they're trying to set up another curveball down.
2-2.
Oh, there it is. That was the pitch that Polanco couldn't lay off of that last at bat. And they set that up, and this time he did lay off. Now, last time up, he swung at 2 of those, same spot.
3-2. Fly ball or a ball shot through that drawn-in infield. With Harrison on deck. Adds to the Pirates' lead. 3-2 pitch. And another chance for Polanco.
Yeah, not surprising. He's staying with that hook. That's his game plan against Polanco.
Wainwright's been here before. This is no new rodeo for the veteran. Wainwright's 5th opening day start.
Another hook. Wow, good at bat, huh? Polanco made the adjustment. He swung at a couple of them, got pieces of them, fouled them off, but he took a couple crucial ones with 2 strikes that were down out of the zone. Here it is. No, I'm not going to swing at it. Last time he got himself out swinging at those pitches. That was a very nice job of making an adjustment in a crucial time. Did not want to strike out with that runner down at third base, nobody out.
Never saw a strike. And worked the walk. 3rd issued by Wainwright. His 90th pitch upcoming to Josh Harrison. Harrison hitless, but a productive out in that 2nd inning, moving Polanco up 90 feet and setting up the 2 runs. Sung Hwang Oh played in Japan last year, the native of Korea. Fouled off again. And the Pirates have Tony Watson loosening.
It's really different, isn't it?
For the 7th inning. Clint Hurdle was saying before the game today that he may use Watson and then Phillies in the 8th if it's better matchup wise for Watson.
And something that you really never saw last year, where Watson would come in to pitch in that 7th inning. But now it looks like with all the lefties coming up in the 7th, that's exactly what Clint's going to do. Going to bring in Watson to pitch to those left-handers, even though it's an inning earlier than what he's used to.
And if you want to go deep into it, the only right-handed bat that would pinch hit for Wainwright is Eric Fryer, who's now their backup catcher. They're not going to use him.
No, I wouldn't think they would.
So 3 straight left.
Lead with their backup catcher, their only backup catcher. Usually the backup catcher is the last man off the bench.
One-two pitch. Worked it to even. Leadoff triple for Cervelli. Wainwright walking Polanco on a great at bat. Harrison falling behind early. Has worked it even. Infield still in. This will be deep enough to get the run home. And a sacrifice fly for Harrison. And Polanco thrown out trying to get the extra base. 3-0 Pirates.
A good at bat, really fighting, trying to get something in play, and got it deep to the outfield. Very good job by Jay Hay. And the Pirates, who really were very aggressive on the bases in spring training. Polanco trying to move up here, and Pirates are saying there was no tag. They're gonna challenge this. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Initially, there was no tag the first time. I don't know about the second time. Misses him right there and gets him on the knee. Now, was his foot on the bag when he tagged him on the knee?
Well, this could be a big swing. The Cardinals used their challenge early in the first inning.
And he did not tag his foot with he got him in the knee.
Let's see what the paying umpires think.
There's the miss. But now, was the tag on his knee before his left foot hit the bag? I don't know. Here, we'll get a look at it here, I think. There's the miss.
Is he on the base, though, in the middle between his rear leg and the front leg.
This might take a little while. There's a lot for him to look at here.
And remember, it's got to be.
Didn't tag him there. There's the tag. His foot's on the base.
He's on. But he stayed with the tag as he kind of came off, perhaps.
I don't know. Perhaps.
Yeah, it's got to be decisive.
This is going to be a tough call. I mean, think how tough that call was to make it live when you're out there.
Trip Gibson out there at second base.
You know, we've looked at it like 4 or 5 times and we're still not sure.
If it's not conclusive enough, yep. And we'll see if it stands or is confirmed.
I can certainly understand why they stayed with the out call.
Yeah, that's worth challenging, though, I think, too. They're going to confirm the call.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
yeah.
The way I'm looking at it now is he laid the tag on his knee, kept it there, and he came off the base just enough for the out.
And for our younger audience, if you play ball, always keep the tag on. That's why.
Especially if there's video replay.
Yes. In your little league, if you've got it. And Jordy Mercer skies to center to end the frame. Pirates get another run. Through 6 on opening day. 3-0 Buccos. Francisco Liriano, what an afternoon for him. Starting to run into a little trouble command-wise late, but hey, 6 shutout innings and 10 Ks on opening day.
Yeah, absolutely what you're looking for there, especially after he had kind of a spring training where pitch count would get out of hand with him. He came out extremely efficient early on. 10 of 26 first pitch strikes. But when he can get ahead in the count, he really will get a lot of chases now on that off-speed stuff out of the strike zone, and that racks up a lot of strikeouts for him.
And Tony Watson is on to face Jeremy Hazelbaker, making his big league debut. And Tony Watson in the 7th.
Amazing season.
He's been one of the best for years now. And Clint Hurdle, talking with reporters before the game today, alluded to this. He said you know, if there's a situation where Tony Watson may be better suited to face, he said matchups, but you think 3 lefties due up in this inning?
Well, yeah, 3 lefties in a row. I mean, this is, if you're going to do it, this is when you're going to, for sure.
Now 2-2, but he spoke of his confidence in Neftali Feliz to pitch in high leverage situations. And so to use Watson here, I mean, this is prime territory.
Right on the corner.
And Hazelbaker down on strikes in his debut.
Cervelli real calm with the glove, didn't move it to hardly at all. And you set up on the corner and you don't have a lot of glove movement, you're going to get that call.
Well, we were talking about the new terminology, pitch framing. Cervelli was told that he's the best at pitch framing last year. Carpenter. He got his gold glove today and he gets it out there. Reminder today, got a full day of sports for you. Who doesn't love some sports? Bucks and pucks. Today is the Penguins in action against the Flyers. Following this one, and a beautiful opening day. Sunny, very chilly, but a 3-0 Pirates lead. That's what makes it beautiful. Matt Adams, 3rd straight lefty in the order.
If this is our really coldest game of the year, then we have nothing to complain about.
When do we go to Wrigley, Bob? Let's take a look.
Well,
here.
we're going to go to Tiger Stadium, or not Tiger Stadium.
Comerica, yeah. It can be chilly.
Play
in
the
Detroit.
Tigers. That has a chance to maybe be.
I've lived through a few cold Aprils in that city. That's where I grew up, Detroit, and this is where I hope to make the rest of my days, right here. It's great to be here. I'm really glad on opening day that I had this opportunity, and wife and the father-in-law got to attend the game here today. I know my mom is watching back in the Detroit area today, so just a wonderful day for me personally, and really glad all you guys have been so welcoming to me, and all of you as well.
Joe, we're lucky to have you, that's for sure. I mean, this is great for us, and to be able to have you come in here and just, it's almost as good as that slider.
Tony Watson sends down the Cardinals in order. And for our 7th inning stretch on opening day, with the Pirates leading this one 3-0. Special moment as we'll hear God Bless America.
Stand as we offer support to our troops here and abroad. Today, the Pirates and Sport Clips are proud to salute Staff Sergeant Vanessa Bartow of the United States Air Force, who will now lead us in God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my
Fans, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. We invite you to follow the bouncing
Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
On the UPMC scoreboard, the Pirates on top 3-0 as we move to the bottom of the 7th. Everybody getting along today. 2016. Is this it? Matt Joyce will pinch hit for Watson to start the last of the 7th. Got a friendlier number as well.
It's a good number. One of my favorites.
Oh, delivers low. Veteran pitcher in Asia from Korea, pitched in Japan the last couple of years, Sung Wong Oh, making his big league debut. At age 33.
Pitch went to the backstop.
Yeah. Souvenir. To make sure that they put it out of play. Well, Matt Joyce making the roster as a non-roster invitee. The Pirates also selecting the contracts of Corey Luebke and Cole Figueroa today as well. Joyce takes a strike.
Nice veteran bench.
When you look at that, there's some balance.
Michael Morris, Sean Rodriguez,
and remember,
Stewart.
Clint Hurdle is going to have some more choices when Gong comes back, because you may have David Freese or Jaso off the bench depending on who's playing at first base that day.
And there'll be a lot of flexibility with Freese and Jung Ho back in the out there with Jay being able to move. I mean, he can mix and match all over the infield. Give guys days off when needed.
Joyce works a pinch hit walk to start the 7th inning. And on a special Inside Pirates Baseball, you can take a look at the Buccos' new additions, prospects, and the injured, the potential breakout players, and much more. We'll break down this year's looming questions as we preview the Pirates' 2016 season on Inside Pirates Baseball. 6 questions tomorrow at 8, right here on Root Sports. Now Jaso singled in a run back of the 2nd. And at 3rd, Carpenter playing in. Now we'll back up a bit. Joyce not much of a threat to run, but he's going here. And Wong gets the out. Well, we're seeing more and more of this. That was kind of an edict in spring training from Clint Hurdle that, you know, guys that don't normally run, we're going to try to put the ball in play a little bit, make these guys put them in motion some.
Yeah, that was basically your hit and run there. Yeah, knowing that Jason's going to get the ball out there, put play somewhere. And you hope, you can find a hole, but worst case scenario, even though you make it out, there's no double play, and you have a runner in scoring position.
Productive out to be sure. So Jaso moving him up. Oh, has been around for a while now. And there's Archimedes Caminero. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. That is Neftali Feliz getting up, as Clint Hurdle was talking about before the game today, that he likes Feliz. You know, almost all the time it's going to be, the 7th inning, but with the 3 lefties up, how do you not use your lefty Watson in the 7th? And Watson did what he should, got all 3 guys. Here's McCutchen. One day into his role as the number 2 hitter, he batted with the bases clear, 1 out to start the game. Then had a chance with 2 men on and 1 out in the 2nd, and then led off the 5th. Now another runner in scoring position here.
Kind of hitting in his traditional 3 spot this inning.
Ah, yes. 9, 1, and 2. O's 1-1. Oh, born in South Korea, played with Hanshin in Japan the last couple of years. Now 3-1. Joyce at second after the walk.
Kind of told not to give Kutch anything to hit.
David Freese not too shabby to follow. He's got 2 hits today. One at 90 from O.
Even that pitch just kind of borderline. You saw Molina jump outside, give that target.
You can see the UPMC strike zone there. Staying away from him. And he walks McCutchen too. So 2 walks in the inning. Let's take a look at our Nissan road ahead, and day off for both teams tomorrow. That was the just in case day, in case we had bad weather today. John Neese gets the nod, another lefty, and then Juan Nicasio, who makes the rotation for the finale on Wednesday against the new Cardinal Mike Leake. We'll have that for you on Root Sports on Wednesday. David Freese, a couple of singles. And really looked at it diplomatically today, facing his former team where he grew up, the Cardinals. He grew up rooting for the Cardinals. He's friends with these guys. He worked out with these guys this year before he signed with the Pirates. Now he doesn't know O. He was ahead 0-2, but he said he'd give a wink to Wainwright before he stood in the box and then go after it.
Got to be businesslike. And really a lot of players are in that same boat. You move around a lot nowadays and end up having a lot of times a guy that you hung out with for 2 or 3 years, and now he's trying to get you out. Could have been a locker mate. But there's a lot of movement in modern baseball with players Well, moving even different countries.
Oh, no doubt. The game is global now. On our Allegheny Health Network Super Mode.
Nice shot there, stopping the head of the bat just before he got to the plate.
2-2. Now flashback 2011. David Freese. He says he doesn't have to buy dinner in St. Louis. And that was a strike away from winning it for the Rangers, and then the Cardinals go on to tie the series in the 11th on the Freese home run. And of course, they win the next day, October 28th, 2011. You know why I remember that? It's the day I got married.
Oh, okay. You won't be forgetting that one.
I stayed up that night, you know, not regretting my decision, but just, you know, general nerves. And I remember watching that game, and it kept going later and later. And I'm like, should I stay up this late to watch? Of course I should. Freese called out on strikes. And a step to first base. He thought O had walked to third. Instead, 2 down.
Well, this occasionally will happen. You get that borderline pitch, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. And it was off the plate just a smidgen, but
there's not too many better behind the dish than Molina presenting a strike for Jerry Lane. Now it's up to Marte. 2 on, 2 out. Pirates lead 3-0. Marte has lined out twice and then bounced into a double play. He's hit the ball hard, pretty hard all 3 times. Well, O was nicknamed, among many things, he was a closer in Japan and Korea. Stone Buddha was one of his nicknames. Very stoic look on the mound, unflinching.
Stone Buddha.
You can't tell if he's sweating this one today. It's his big league debut.
Let's walk home.
Walked a couple. Stone Guardian. Final Boss. Those are some cool nicknames. 2-2. He's just looking to set up Rosenthal with St. Louis. Two. And now full. He's gone 3 balls on 4 hitters in this inning. Cervelli hoping for a chance. He tripled and scored that 3rd run back in the 6th. Runners will move. 3-2. Strikes out Marte on that good slider. 8th inning coming up. Pirates still on top.
Well, in attendance at the game today is Tyrone Brooks, the former director of player personnel for the Pittsburgh Pirates. You see a shot of him. He's in the top row in the middle of your frame right there. In January, he left to work for Major League Baseball in a newly created position, and it's a long one. Senior Director of MLB's Front Office and Field Staff Diversity Pipeline Program. Now, in layman's terms, his primary duty is to increase the pool of minority and female candidates for decision-making positions in baseball, both on the field and in the front office. He was with the Pirates for 6 seasons and spent the last 4 as their director of player personnel. So another good man moving on, doing great things for Major League Baseball, Joe and Bob.
You got a chance to see him at the Bucco Bash down in McKechnie Field, and really enjoying what Tyrone Brooks has done with the Pirates, and then now what he's doing with baseball. And now, Neftali Feliz.
Feliz, really a good track record. Absolute quality work coming out of the bullpens. Not so much recently, but if the Pirates can do a little bit of their pitching magic wand stuff, Ray Searage, I mean, they could just get Feliz back to where he was. Wow. To bring all 3 guys into these games would be amazing.
He's been one of the best. See if he can try to get back to it. Holiday. Mad. And underneath that one. And there's one out. Now Feliz has had a storied career, signing with the Braves. And then worked with the Rangers after that big Mark Teixeira deal. He was the Rookie of the Year and an All-Star in 2010. 40 saves that year, and then a couple of years later, the Tommy John surgery last year. Just tried to hang on, ERA over 6. But I thought he looked pretty decent in spring training, and that velocity that was once well over 100, that's not there anymore, but he's still throwing in the mid-90s.
Yeah, he's going to average up 94, 95 with the fastball. That's going to be where it kind of sits at. The right-handers will see a lot of sliders, and the lefties will see a lot of changeups.
And Grichuk singled back in the 4th. And strike 3 call. The Pirates have struck out 13 Cardinals this afternoon.
It's kind of like that breaking ball that Freese took for strike 3, just a little bit off the edge, but as I said then, sometimes with 2 strikes that pitcher will get a call and you got to walk back to the dugout. Kind of like a little bit of a roll of the dice when you take a close one with 2 strikes.
Tell you what, you know, Clint Hurdle talking about this earlier. If you're just joining us and you're saying, well, where's Tony Watson for the 8th inning? Well, he pitched the 7th because the Cardinals had 3 straight lefties coming up. And Hurdle had talked about that with reporters before the game today. And he said he likes Feliz in these high leverage situations. I mean, Neftali Feliz, first game as a Pirate, trying to protect a 3-run lead in the 8th inning.
Yeah, I think it makes all the sense in the world to, use your weapons the way that they're best, suited against the opposition. And when the 7th inning, a close ball game, and your starter's out of there, and they got all lefties coming up, bring in Watson, and he'll wipe them out.
I feel like a byproduct of that too is, you give a lot of confidence to Feliz right off the bat. Hey, I'm going to use you in a lead right off the bat in the first game of the season. And
if you had, it'll be flipped the other way too. You get all right-handers come up the 7th, and it'll be Feliz that will be out there at that point.
Cardinals, one of those teams very left-handed late in lineup. 2-2. Toward right. And Polanco runs out of room. Well, the Pirates with a couple of runs in the second. Francisco Liriano drove in a run with 2 men on. John Jaso followed with a base hit. Mark Melanson stretching in the Pirate pen. Pirates adding a run on a sac fly by Harrison in the 6th. Nice play by Freese.
How about that pick?
He's had a couple of nice runs over there today. And Neftali Feliz with a 1-2-3 8th inning, protecting the lead. And he's a Cardinal no more. He's one of us.
Brought to you by Kenny Ross, Total Confidence Pricing, and by Levin Furniture, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
On our UPMC scoreboard, on opening day, the Pirates have a 3-0 lead. What a great day it has been. Snow this morning, sunshine all day, and a Pirate lead since the 2nd. And Seth Maness now on for St. Louis.
Yeah, Maness's numbers, he gives up quite a few hits with that opposition batting average up over 300.
Cervelli tripled his last time. Oh,
did that get him? It's not. Maybe that might have nicked the uniform.
First he wanted time. That time he got it.
That time he got time. Good timing on that, didn't we?
Base hit for Cervelli. Two-hit day for the Pirate catcher. And we are sold out today, 39.5. 39,500 here today. Year one. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't count that high. Remember when they had turnstiles that would count? Now it's just the scanners. Isn't it something? Did you get your ticket scanned? Yes, I did. They're all over the place today, and everybody is sticking around. They want to see a Pirate victory on opening day. And the whole baseball world watching as the first pitch flew here in Pittsburgh.
Now this time Polanco don't have to be worrying about that curveball. Dennis throws almost all fastball changeups to left-hand hitters. That was looked like a circle change he threw there for a strike. Even a count at 1-1. You see him set that grip again. You look in his glove from the center field camera. You see, it looks like he's got his whole hand wrapped around the baseball. That's his changeup grip.
Now, does he bury it all the way back in there? I mean, that's kind of like a palm ball then. If you
no, it looked like
it
looks like it's a circle change. But I mean, when you're looking from the center field camera, all you can see is all the fingers in the back of his hand.
I see. Oh, now that tells you a little bit more.
There, that's fastball. That's two-seam fastball. What he said. Got two-seam fastball and change up, and then when the right-handers are up there, he'll throw a few sliders.
Yeah, not too many throw that old palm ball anymore.
No, run into a few of them, but not many. There it is.
Polanco with a base hit.
You see right there, he made that adjustment, moved his fingers all around the ball. That was the changeup grip. Nice job by Polanco taking that off-speed pitch, the straight changeup, not getting out there and trying to pull it, just right back where it came from.
So Polanco with 2 hits today. Cervelli, Freeze, each with 2 hits. Josh Harrison has made 3 outs today. 2 of them have been very productive. One moving over a runner, setting up a run. The other a sac fly. Hey, it's one day, but I've enjoyed the way this lineup looks.
It's definitely put together a lot different than it was last season, and it'll probably evolve a little bit. I mean, very seldom do you see a lineup just stay.
Josh Harrison has been the unselfish guy today.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done the job many ways already. Moving runners up, sacrifice fly. That was a great at bat too that he had when he hit that sac fly. Really battled. Good job squaring around early, giving himself up, making the third baseman come in and field that ball. When you're bunting somebody to third, you can bunt it hard at the third baseman, and your job is done. All he can do then is come in, and he has to field the ball.
And the Cardinals again with the infield in. Mercer 0 for 2 with a walk, scored a run. Squeeze is on. And the out 2-5 on Cervelli. And that is the suicide squeeze, meaning that Mercer has to make contact with that ball. Not that easy to do.
Did get a strike to hit, but no contact.
Goes down as a caught stealing on Cervelli. Polanco on to third. So with 2 outs now, Mercer needing a base hit to plate that insurance run.
And now we need a clutch 2-out hit. And nope, that one's going to go a little foul.
Keep in mind too, you've got Polanco at third, and you bury that pitch in the dirt. You've got one of the game's best behind there, as Michael Morse has now moved out on deck to bat for Phillies. Mercer to center, deep, and this one's over the head of Grichuk into the wall. Jordy Mercer in at second with an RBI double.
That'll make Mercer feel a little bit better after the botched squeeze attempt, being able to drive that ball into the gap.
Big 2-out hit for Jordy Mercer. Now with a 4-0 lead going into the ninth. It does change the feel even more. This lineup just pecking away at the Cardinals all afternoon.
Might mean we don't see Melanson.
He had been warming. Now Caminero has just started to get up and joined him. Caminero in the foreground. Wong can't get it, but he'll recover in time for the out. And the Pirates get an insurance run. Ninth coming up. 4-0 Buccos. Sports is Wednesday when the Bucs wrap up this season opening series against the Cardinals. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Pirates pregame presented by W.B. Mason. Here we go, ninth inning, and Mark Melanson coming on as the Pirates are on top 4-0. Just 3 hits for St. Louis here for the opener.
Yeah, no save situation for Melanson, but he would still love to come out here and keep the shutout intact. And
before the game, Kent Colvey and Elroy Face, 2 great relief aces for the Pirates, joining the third. Melanson, 51 saves, a Pirate record, and leading all of baseball last year.
Oh, just an incredible season for Melanson. And as far as what we saw in the month of March down in spring training, I mean, he is right there. Look good, look sharp.
He allowed nothing. 7 outings, just a couple of hits in spring training. This pretty much 1, 2, 3. And he'll face Molina, Wong, and Jerko 6, 7, and 8 here in the Cardinal ninth. Cardinals with a couple of rallies. They loaded the bases with 2 outs in the 4th and with 1 out in the 6th. And Liriano got out of both jams. Liriano went 6 and struck out 10, walked 5. Watson a 1, 2, 3, 7th. Phillies a 1, 2, 3, 8th. And strike 1 to Molina.
Yeah, there's that true cutter, 90 miles an hour. You see the little movement as it moves away from Molina right at the last moment. It's always been Melanson's bread and butter pitch.
Taking strike 2.
I thought last year he did a good job adding a pretty useful curveball. Not that he didn't have a curveball, but I mean, the way he used it last year really became a nice kind of different pitch for him, a different look to a lot of hitters. There it is.
Well, he's almost to the point with that cutter because it breaks so late. He could almost rely on one pitch, but just goes to show you how committed he is to continuing to get better. 1-2 to Molina. Cardinals have their 4th hit of the afternoon.
Molina kind of just fighting that one off.
And Colton Wong 0 for 3. On for St. Louis.
Now it's getting a little more interesting than I wanted to see. Wong just taking that off the elbow guard of his.
On our Allegheny Health Network Supermo, a great look there. Jerko 0 for 2 today. He's got some power. We're in this cold Sunday afternoon, and Cervelli wants to chat.
Now they want to make sure they're on the same page. Signs, you know, with the runner out at second base.
There's Brandon Moss on deck. He would bat for Manus.
Hey, get back into those left-handed sticks again once you get by Jerko.
First pitch. Rodriguez in the game for defense.
That looked like a tough little ground ball, didn't it? Right off the end of the bats. Had some funky spin, a little side spin to it.
Looked kind of like a shortstop or somebody moving over there at first.
He makes some great plays no matter where you put him in the outfield. He makes some highlight plays.
Brandon Moss came over midway through last year. Melanson very, very good against lefties last year. Anyone in baseball that pitched 30 innings, he allowed the lowest slugging percentage against lefties in all of baseball. And he's a right-handed pitcher.
That's that cutter. He runs in on their hands. It keeps that ball off the head of the bat. And a lot of times if you do get out there and get the head of the bat to it, you're just going to pull it foul. It's that pitch right there that just ties those left-hand hitters up as far as pulling the ball and driving the ball to right. Now, if he makes a mistake with that pitch and leaves it over to the middle part of the plate, but Blanson doesn't make too many mistakes with that cutter.
Two and one on Moss. Molina at third. Wong at second. Single and a hit batter. Goes bounced out, moved him over. 2-1. Broke his bat.
He threw a couple cutters that were just in a little bit. Moss was able to take them. And then he just moves it out far enough to force the swing and throwing it as a strike. That ball was right on the inside corner. A lot of guys without that kind of command, when they move the ball out, they got to move it out to the big part of the strike zone to ensure a strike. But he just moved it out there just far enough to where he would get a swing after Moss was able to take those two preceding pitches.
2-2. He struck him out. And they'll have to throw him out at first.
You see that curveball that really became such a great pitch for him last year. It's a swing and a miss and the chase on it. You know, he's just tying you as a left-hand hitter, tying you up. Ball's on your hands, on your hands, on your hands, and you're thinking in your mind, I gotta get out there and get the head of the bat to the ball because everything's coming in at me. And then he drops that curveball, and you're way out in front. You get, and you look bad with a really ill-timed swing.
They're all watching the Pirates and out away from victory. Matt Carpenter bunting.
His job is right now. He's trying to get on base. The tying run is on deck. He's thinking maybe he can get the tying run to the plate with a bunt.
Matt Adams is on deck. $39,500. Here's the 0-1. Broke his bat, but it's foul. And now the Pirates a strike away from victory. Ariano in 6, struck out 10. And Mark the Shark trying to lock it up for him.
Kind of game you want on opening day, isn't it?
Couldn't be any better so far.
Oh, it's just been perfect. Nothing but zeros. 2 outs.
Melanson's 0-2.
Nice job by Cervelli. He knows on 0-2 he's called for the curveball. It's probably going to bounce right in front of him, so he's anticipating, gets those knees down early.
A year ago from Carpenter. Melanson a strike away from Mendigan. 2 on, 2 out. The 1-2.
Cutter right on the hands.
They're ready to raise it.
Carpenter showing a little bit of restraint, isn't he? A couple of pretty good hooks when he's behind in the count.
That's a good hitter there, Carpenter. Facing one of the best in Melanson. Two-two pitch. Fouled away.
Another example, this time with the curveball, of him just moving the ball enough to get the edge of the strike zone and provoke a swing. He laid off the two curveballs that just barely bounced. Then he brings one and puts it right at the knees. Can't take it. You got to swing.
Seventh pitch upcoming. Now full.
Well, this is just a great battle right here with Carpenter. Carpenter's doing a super job, and Melanson's putting the ball right where he wants to. Cutter's on the hands. He's dipping that curveball either down just below the knees or at the strike zone. Look at the two clusters. The cutters and the curveballs.
Will he throw on 3-2? And the Cardinals will get on the board. Molina is in. Long held at third. And on the eighth pitch of the at-bat, a strike away from getting shut out. Matt Carpenter drives in the Cardinals' first run of the day.
Well, Carpenter ends up winning that battle. Fought him to 3-2. And then you don't want the tying run to come to the plate with a base on balls. He made sure he threw a strike on that full count, and Carpenter was able to get the base hit on it.
Now it's Matt Adams who is that tying run here with 2 outs in the ninth. And Melanson ahead, strike one. He's 1 for 6 in his career against Melanson with a home run. And strike two as Carpenter was moving on the pitch.
The Pirates are ignoring Carpenter. He can do whatever he wants out there. The only guy that they have any concern with right now is Adams. He represents that tying run.
A strike away from victory. 0-2.
With that high fastball, Carpenter jogs down the second base.
One-two pitch. Here we go. Build up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now a base hit with Carpenter could score a pair, perhaps. One strike, and the Pirates are 1-0. 2-2. Full again.
That was a tough pitch to take. It definitely looked like it was borderline. Well, there you see it. It was a little upstairs and a little in.
Matt Holliday would be next. In the air to center. McCutchen. And the Pirates win. opening day, the Pirates beat the St. Louis Cardinals. David Freese with a couple of hits today. Liriano, 10 strikeouts over 6 shutout innings. And the Pirates are 1-0 on a 4-1 win today against St. Louis.
Yeah, really an entertaining game, I think, for the fans. You had the great pitching all afternoon. And, you know, seeing the type of offense that, you know, hopefully we'll see the entire season with the, you know, guys moving runners up. Jay Hay did a great job of that, getting some extra base hits, getting some important 2-out hits with Mercer getting that drive out into right center to put the final run across, kind of give you a little breathing room, which it ended up we needed a little. But it just was really a great opening day ball game, not only for the Pirates, but I think for the fans and viewers at home. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, well executed all around. The Pirates win it 4-1. And let's go to Rob King and Kent Tekulve.
Joe and Bob, thanks very much. A great way to begin the opening day. A little chilly, but under blue skies, beautiful sun, and a terrific start for the Buccos.
Absolutely, and a win, and you know, you can't ask for a better start to the season. And by the way, it was against the Cardinals.
David Freese, a former Cardinal, now a member of the Buccos. Nice debut for him as we send it back downstairs, this time with Robbie Inzmakowski. Robbie.
Yeah, Kinger, I got David Freese, the former World Series hero with the St. Louis Cardinals. Here he is in a Pirates uniform. David, 2 hits, fantastic defense, and most importantly, a Pirates win. How do you describe your first opening day in a Bucco uniform?
It's fun. You know, these fans are great, and they've been coming, packing this place out for a few years now, and this is what I expected. So it was nice to get this W.
You're a veteran. You've had some big moments in your baseball career, but what was it like, if there were any emotions, trying to manage them facing your former team and also trying to play your first one with the Bucks?
I wasn't really worried about it. I mean, I think it'd be different if I played for him last year, but it's been 2 long years since I was a Cardinal. Obviously, I have a lot of friends over there still, but it's just a baseball game.
How much do you embrace your role with the Pirates, however long you may be playing there, and whatever your role may be when Jung Ho Kang comes back from the DL?
Yeah, I'm just going to come in ready to go. That's what we have to do. That's how the Pirates go about it, and I'm going to follow their lead and just come in, you know, whatever's asked me, I'm going to do it.
What were your first impressions playing a baseball game in the North Shore for the home team?
Oh, this is great. This is unbelievable. This is one of the best parks in the league, some of the best fans, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Thank you, David.
All right, thank you.
All right, Rob. David Freese helping the Buccos with a victory here on opening day.
Thank you. Robbie and David, thanks very much. A quality veteran to add to this team. A couple years ago, the quality veteran that they added was Francisco Liriano. Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, presented by Miller Lite. And Teak, how about Francisco Liriano? Goes 6 innings and strikes out 10 as he keeps the Cardinals off the board.
Yeah, you know, you go back to spring training, there were some rough outings for Liriano. This is why with veteran players, we don't worry about spring training. Francisco Liriano did what he does. He came out and pitched an outstanding game for the Pirates, got into a couple jams, got out of them. Great day for Liriano. He led the way for the Pirates to victory today.
Just 3 hits allowed, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts. Pirates win by the final score of 4-1. That was Miller time, presented by Miller Lite. Opening day, a beautiful day here at PNC Park. A little chilly, but a gorgeous day and a great way to start the 2016 season for the Pirates. They defeat the St. Louis Cardinals, the defending division champions, by the final score of 4-1. Stick around, much more analysis with Teak as we put a wrap on this show on Pirates Postgame, presented by the Allegheny Health Network. It's coming your way next.